Okay, go for it.
Hi, it's Gemini, and you can find me on YouTube at Gemini888, and I'm here on the home of the top rope with Team Rai Rai.
Yeah, thank you very much for the first time. It's not top rope. It's called Snake Eyes or whatever. I changed my my blog or not blog but podcast. So thanks coming on board. Okay. First we're gonna kick off. We're gonna discuss about your San Francisco Giants. So what's your thoughts on this season, Gemini?
Well, they're having a rough year. The pitching staff's been off. They inconsistent hitting. They've had injuries. They find themselves 12 games under 500. They're just waiting for some momentum. They've had a rough start. They've had a rough season so far, but they have won two in a row. They just beat the Phillies tonight, so hopefully they get some momentum going. But so far, they've had a rough year. The pitching's been off. Injuries. Angel Pagan's out. They've been calling up some players from AAA to try to get that team motivated, get some things going. But I think you'll see a whole different team on the field next year if they don't start winning some more ball games.
Do you think the Giants will make the playoffs or no?
Everything depends on the pitching. I mean, if the pitching can get hot, I mean, they're like 11 or 12 under. If they can get to 500 and have a good September, you never know. I mean, you can make the second wild card and you could be 5 or 10 games over 500. That's the thing. If they can get to 500 and they can pitch and they can get some consistent offense and they can win some games on the road, you never know. But I don't know. It's looking like the team in the National League this year is the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah,
I think
that's where usually Pittsburgh Pirates usually fall apart this time of year, Gemini.
not this year though because they're a young team and they've been together a long time. And to me, it's going to be Pittsburgh and the Dodgers in the NLCS. Those are the two teams to beat this year.
Okay, speaking of the Pittsburgh, and I'm a huge Cubs fan, and that's the division. Do you think down the road Cubs could make some moves? I know that they got that one guy and he went back to the Yankees, but do you think that's a good move? They got rid of him.
You know, I'll be honest. I don't keep up with the Cubs, on a day-to-day basis. I have a lot of respect for the organization, their city, their field. Spending a little time in Chicago. I hope the Cubs can turn it around. If the Giants don't win the World Series, that would be the one team that I think would deserve it the most. They haven't won a World Series since 1908. They have the most loyal fans in all of baseball. I'd like to see the Cubs just build a young team, and maybe in 3 or 4 years they got a legitimate chance. I hope so. I'm pulling for the Cubs. I really am.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm a Cubs fan. I've been in a couple Cubs games, not recently, but a while back. Now you said on Twitter that you went to WrestleMania 22. How was the atmosphere out there, Gemini?
Unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was absolute magic. I fell in love with the city of Chicago. I spent 4 days there, and if I was going to move anywhere, I would either move to Detroit or move to Chicago. Just fabulous city, great food, people were nice. It was a great. It was cold. I didn't know how cold it was there. I went to Chicago in April of 2006, and I just brought a small jacket, and I wound up coming home with pneumonia because I didn't know how cold it was there.
Yep.
So it damn cold. But
And,
it's a
and
beautiful.
it was raining too. I remember that because I was at Hooters to watch it live, and it was cold and damp.
Yeah, it was cold. It was rainy. Like I said, I didn't plan for the weather. I came home with pneumonia.
That sucks.
But it was worth it to see Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon, at WrestleMania 22. That was the highlight for me, and that was the night where I pretty much became a big John Cena fan because I saw how awesome he was in his main event versus Triple H.
That was a good match.
Oh, it was outstanding. I
Uh,
mean, it
wh-
was everything about that night was magical. It was the most violent crowd I had ever seen. It was the most violent crowd I had ever been around. There was probably at least 30 or 40 people getting carried out of the Rosemont Horizon. It was violent. I mean, on your way in the door, they frisk the hell out of you. They lift up your shirt. They check your pants to make sure you don't have any weapons on you.
yep.
It's a it's no joke. It's a rough city. They don't play in Chicago, but
No,
overall the fans they hated Cena. But WrestleMania 22 will always be one of my best memories as a wrestling fan for sure.
Speaking of WrestleMania in Chicago, do you think it will come back in the near future? Yes or no, Gemini?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Here's the thing. They've been to the Allstate Arena 3 times. They were there in 1986, 1997, and 2006. And even though that arena only holds anywhere between 13 and 16,000 people, you can't replace the atmosphere. And I'll take you back to the recent pay-per-view with Punk and Jericho.
Yep.
The reception for CM Punk, maybe if it's in Kentucky or if it's in Oklahoma, maybe it's an okay reception. But the crowd in Chicago is unlike any other. They're probably the most passionate wrestling crowd outside of Madison Square Garden in the whole entire world. That building just, for some reason, the sound comes off differently in Chicago. I'll tell you, wrestling fans, listen to this. If you've never been to Chicago, you've never been to Allstate Arena, aka the Rosemont Horizon in Rosemont, Illinois, I suggest you put it on your bucket list and you get there at least one time. You will not be sorry. You'll be with a crowd you never have experienced anything like it. It's magic. It really is.
I was there twice or a couple times. I went to Extreme Rules 2012. I was there this past June. My brother, my friend. Payback is an awesome event arena. Speaking of events, WCW, no, not WCW, SummerSlam '94 was there for the very first pay-per-view. So, Gemini, why don't go back to the United Center?
I don't know. I personally, I think that they're more concerned right now on going to newer venues. I know that they host, they host a pay-per-view every once in a while in the Allstate Arena, but they like to go to newer venues. And I don't know if they'll take the WrestleMania back. I hope so, but I know that right now Vince McMahon has this kick on big dome stadiums for WrestleMania.
Yep.
The Superdome next year, and
yeah,
the big stadiums. I know you were at WrestleMania 26.
Yep. Do you think it will come to Soldier Field, because it's kind of big, but I don't know if it's big enough for a whole Mania, right? Soldier Field.
Well, I don't know. On that, due to the fact that April in the city of Chicago
was cold,
really cold. Although, from what I heard about this year in New York, a lot of people were really cold at WrestleMania this year, in New York. So
yeah.
I don't know. Soldier Field, I'm not sure. I would love to see it. I would have to say Chicago, being the second largest city in the United States, has a damn good chance of bringing the WrestleMania back.
Oh yeah, they definitely. What do you think about Wrigley Field hosting WrestleMania in the future? That's what I said in W Magazine a while back.
I don't know. Here's the thing about Wrigley. Wrigley it's a beautiful stadium, but it's small, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tiny. You could walk around that park about 6 times, and it doesn't even feel like too much. It's just a tiny,
place. Yeah.
It's a small place. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was cool when I was in Chicago. We took the train to get there, and then we went over. We saw the White Sox Stadium.
Yep. Have you seen my blog lately, Gemini? Number 6?
No, I haven't had a chance. Is it up on YouTube?
Yes.
No, I'll watch it when we get off the call here.
Okay, cool. I talk about all different stuff, and I got a rare shirt, Hulk Hogan from '02. I showed it in that video from Salvation Army. It's very rare, and it's mint condition too.
That's good. I mean, Hogan in '02 was as big a star in wrestling as he was in 1982. Hogan in '02 in the WWF, that was some good stuff. They even gave him the belt, if you remember right.
Yeah, yep. And he faced Triple H too. That's when he lost. He beat Triple H for the belt.
Yeah, he beat Triple H for the belt at Backlash.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Triple H let him win. I'm really surprised.
Oh, I was surprised too, because in '02 Triple H wasn't exactly doing a whole lot of losing to anyone.
No, not really. Let me see here. Who do you like to see in the 2014 Hall of Fame? I know there's a lot of rumors that the DX is going to be in the Hall of Fame next year. So, do you think it's going to be legit, or is it going to be a rumor, Gemini?
I don't know. Honestly, that's up to the Warrior. You know, they've asked him to be in the Hall of Fame for years. I mean, really, the Warriors' best chance to be in the Hall of Fame was WrestleMania 26 in Phoenix, you know, his hometown.
Yeah.
You know, they asked him to be in it. You know, they've asked the Warrior to be in it every year. The Warrior's up and down. It's like he'll be all about the WWE one day, and then he won't want to have anything to do with them the next day. It depends. This is a class I want to see go in 2014. Now, this is my own opinion. I want to see Ravishing Rick Rude. I want to see Vader go in the Hall of Fame. I want to see Bam Bam Bigelow go in the Hall of Fame. You know, that would be my three. And obviously the Macho Man.
Yeah.
Why the Macho Man's not in the Hall of Fame and Coco Beware is beyond me.
I don't think Coco B. Will should be in it because what has he do? What has he done for the WF or WWE at all? What has he done?
Here's Coco's deal. Coco was one of their big stars in the 80s, and he wrestled in Memphis before that. But really, he had a very, very average career. He really didn't stand out. Maybe it's his work in the preliminary scene, the indie scene.
Oh, okay.
For all these years, because he's, you know, him and Doink and a lot of other wrestlers have been on the preliminary scene for a long time.
Oh, that's why they do. That's why they do that stuff for WWE.
I mean, that goes into a factor. Like, wow, Coco's been hanging in there and taking care of himself, and he's been a big star in the indie scene for 20 years. Coco's had a good career. He wasn't a bad wrestler. He was entertaining, with his Berg, but I didn't feel like he was Hall of Fame worthy to me. I felt like that the Hall of Fame, that there was a hell of a lot better wrestlers out there who deserved to be in the Hall of Fame as opposed to Coco Beware. But there's a lot of guys like Donald Trump being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
William Refrigerator Perry. I know that you're a Bears fan. I know he was a great football player, but he only made 2 appearances in the WWF. It was SummerSlam '94 and WrestleMania 2, and that was his only 2 appearances his entire time in the WWF.
Yeah, I know.
So he really didn't do much to get in.
And same thing for Drew Carey, same reason, He made 1 big appearance at the Rumble, big deal,
Now, if you watch Drew Carey during his Hall of Fame induction, he was almost embarrassed to be there.
Really?
If you watch him, because he felt like he didn't deserve to be there. And I kind of agree. I mean, Drew Carey made 1 appearance in the WWF. He was at the Royal Rumble 2001, and that was it. And that's all he ever did in the WWF. 1 appearance, I guess, and you can be in the Hall of Fame.
Wow, that's pathetic. Now, back to what I was saying, if you heard me, do you think DX will be in the Hall of Fame next year? Yes or no?
I'd say yes. I guess that would make Shawn Michaels a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Yep.
DX for their contributions in '97, helping the Attitude Era, and then resurrecting it in 2006, and then again in 2009. They've definitely been huge stars, huge contributors to the success of the WWE. But it'll be interesting if Triple H wants to go in the Hall of Fame that way, or he wants to go in the Hall of Fame on his own.
Yeah.
He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels doesn't need it.
Nope.
But, I mean, they're going to go all out next year at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big one. It's the 30th anniversary. They're going to definitely be bringing out some stars for that show in New Orleans.
Speaking of that, do you think there's a lot of rumors going around that I guess Chyna, I don't know if it's going to be legit. Is she going to be part of the DX Hall of Fame class next year? I'm not too sure. You know what I'm saying? That group?
Well, a lot of it depends, I think. I honestly don't know the circumstances behind Chyna and why she left the WWF and the WWE. I know she went to TNA there for a little while. I know she's not on the best terms, and I know she's out filming her porno movies. So I don't know what Chyna's deal is. I would say no. I would feel like she wouldn't really deserve to go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
For entertainment value, if you want people to watch a wrestler that they haven't seen in a while, then they should probably just go ahead and put her in the Hall of Fame just for strictly entertainment value. But from a wrestling standpoint and from a professionalism standpoint, I would say probably not.
Yeah, because she's doing other stuff, and this is a PG, or this is a way different things now, Gemini,
Oh, it's the product is completely watered down. Thank God for wrestlers like CM Punk who are cutting edge.
Oh yeah, and Daniel Bryan, sort of, you know.
Danny Bryan's on his way. You know, as long as they don't, a lot of it's going to be dependent if they bury him at SummerSlam or not,
Do you think?
or
Do you think they will?
same as their golden child.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of sad. They built this guy, Daniel Bryan, and when it comes down to main event, we all know who's gonna win, John Cena. We all know who's gonna fucking win. That really makes me mad. I know you're a big John Cena fan. I understand that, but it's time for a change. You know what I'm saying, Gemini?
Well, it's been time for a change.
Yeah, but it repeats itself. The Rock had it for a little bit. John Cena, it's like a hot potato. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like the '80s, you know,
Yeah.
with Ric Flair. Ric Flair, all they did in the '80s was just find different opponents for Ric Flair to beat. I mean, there's so many guys in the '80s who were just there for Ric Flair to beat him. I mean, Nikita Koloff, Sting, um, Magnum TA. I mean, all these guys, Rugged Roddy Garvin, Ricky Steamboat, all these guys were there for Flair to beat. You know,
Yep.
and it would go back and forth. Some of these guys would beat Flair sometimes, but in the end, Flair would always get the belt back and would always be the champion every time. And it's the same thing with Cena. Until Cena can't go anymore, you know, this is the way it's going to be. Even
Yep.
if Daniel Bryan was to beat him for the title, he would have the title till maybe Survivor Series, and then the Cena would have it back.
Or maybe Daniel Bryan just might have it for 1 month and just lose it at Night of Champions in September. You know.
Well, WWF has always been about the big guys.
Yep.
You know, it's very rare that you'll have a small champion who lasts a long time. I mean, with the exception of Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, who had legitimate title runs,
Oh yeah. Yep.
WWF is basically about the big guys, and Cena is the one who is drawing the cash right now, and they're going to ride that horse until, you know, they can't ride it anymore. I mean, the fans are sick of him. I'm sick of him. You're sick. Everyone's sick of Cena being the champion. We all want him to turn heel.
Yep.
They've had so many chances. They had a chance this year in Mania. They had a chance when he was with Nexus.
Yep.
They've had chances for years to turn him heel, but what holds them back is the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I believe.
Yeah, but just come on. Make-A-Wish Foundation is not part of our storyline, so you know what I'm saying? But whatever.
But here's the thing, WWE is all about good PR.
Yeah, yep.
If they have the Boy Scout as their champion, that's all they care about is their image right now. Cena's not the best wrestler. He's not the worst, you know. But they're not gonna. They're not. They've been riding that horse for 8 years,
Yep.
and they're not gonna. They're not gonna change it. I don't know, until he gets hurt or he gets sick of it and walks away. I don't think there's going to be any changes. I think they're going to ride Cena as their top guy until he can't do it anymore, until he can't wrestle anymore, or he gets sick of it. But he might get sick of it soon because him and Nikki Bella, they might want to go home and have kids or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. Another thing is, do you watch college football? I know you watch the NFL, right?
I watched the Rose Bowl. You know, I watched the Orange Bowl. You know, that's about. I watch all the bowl games, but as far as a week-to-week basis, no, I don't keep up with it.
Okay, but you do keep up with the NFL, right, or no?
Oh yeah, a big 49er fan.
Oh, I never knew that. I know Steven Breaches, but I never knew about you. Wow.
Oh yeah, no, that's my team. I'm not as hardcore about football, but you can damn bet if I'm home on a Sunday afternoon and there's a game on, I got that TV.
Well,
going.
guess what? I think Bears and Niners playing this year, so we're gonna have a little rival going on this fall, man.
Where's the game at? Chicago or San Francisco?
I think at your place. I'm not too sure. Well, if you want to, you can look it up on NFL.com. I think it's in Chicago. Last time it was in San Francisco, and you beat the shit out of us. You know
I got something for you.
what?
1989 NFC title game, 49ers and Bears.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yep.
Yeah, Niners blasted them 28-3.
Yeah, I was too young because I don't remember the end of that shit. But I got that DVD. But you know, Bears Americans game, I watch that. You know.
Yep, Bears. You know, they made it to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They unfortunately lost to the Colts, and that was their last Super Bowl appearance.
I was so pissed. But if we have better quarterback, Gemini, we'll win. I know nobody won't believe me, but Rex Grossman was not the answer for that team.
Yeah, but the Colts were a team of destiny that year for sure.
I
It's determined.
You know what? I don't give a darn what anybody says. I think Peyton Manning or Eli Manning are way overrated, but that's just my opinion, Gemini, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough on Peyton Manning because he took a lousy Broncos team and he took them to a 13-3 season. And he took them to the playoffs. It's tough to talk about Peyton Manning.
Yep, and then look what happened. The defense choked against the Ravens, and it was a great game too. I love that game.
Everybody choked versus the Ravens.
Yep, I know, but I don't know. I just hopefully, and I'm a big Notre Dame fan, and I'm very mad they lost in the title game last year. Bummed out.
Are you?
Yeah. I went to the game last year with my family, and I had a great time. First time I ever went to a Notre Dame college game. Awesome. Great atmosphere.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Check out the video footage on my YouTube channel whenever you get a chance. I forgot the name of what I named it, but it's great. Good stuff, Gemini. Good stuff.
That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I went to a 49ers game was 2002. And
wow.
They
Who's the quarterback?
Back then, it was 2002, and I played I think they might have played the Falcons that day, or no, wait, they played the Rams that day.
Okay, was Kurt Warner the quarterback for the Rams?
I'm having trouble remembering. I was at the time. It was in October of 2002, so I was so caught up in the Giants playoff run that I really, I wasn't really.
What did the Giants win the World Series that year? 2002?
They lost in 7 games to the Anaheim Angels.
Okay.
But they've had some good success. I guess I'm more of a baseball guy than a football guy.
Okay.
But I definitely loved the Super Bowl this year. I wanted the Niners to win.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good game. Now, what's your thoughts on the Black? A lot of people say it was they said Undertaker. Of course, that was not really true, but that was very funny. A lot of videos on that.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna have Power Out for Mania 30 or no?
I don't know what's gonna happen. I think 30's. Yeah, hold on. Hey, Ray, I gotta go. I got a thing here.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, and this video will be up very soon. Thanks for coming on, Gemini.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye, dude. Well, that was awesome. My special guest. So I'll take over from here. We'll discuss a lot of good stuff. So Gemini, if you're listening, I really appreciate you coming on. Hopefully the other members of your homies, your home skillets. So this is just a special podcast of Snake Eyes. So have a good one. Take care. Spiky here. And Team Rarai is out here. And my special guest was out here already. So later everyone. Deuces.